Okay. Are you good if I start recording?
Yes.
This limited series is #1 worldwide. I mean, does that hit you?
I think it just hit me this week for the first time. And on my drive back here, I just passed the Melrose and I just see this ginormous billboard from scratch Netflix. And I was just kind of, it started to sink in a little bit. It's like, this is pretty exciting.
Your character is Silvio, the best friend of Lino, the lead male character. Why is Silvio so important to Lino?
My character meets Lino at a very difficult part in Lino's story because he's homesick. He's just traveled to Los Angeles from Florence. He left his job as a chef. He's now moved for love to a foreign country. And my character meets him at a point when he's really kind of down in the dumps and he's struggling to find connection in the city. Amy takes him to this bar to give him a little bit of a glimpse of home and hope. And it was just a really beautiful moment to be able to be a part of that because he gets to watch the soccer game and watch Italy play, and it was just this kind of warm moment.
That's somewhat of a turning point for him, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, because he needs, I think, at that moment, some kind of tangible hope to hang on to. He's alone and in a country where it's not speaking his first language, and Los Angeles is a really difficult city already. It's a very kind of lonely, isolated city to begin with. So, yeah, I think that part is this first glimmer of hope to kind of change. Maybe he can live here, make some friends.
Why do you think this resonates so well with people?
Tenby Locke, the writer, with her sister Attica, they really came from a place of truth. It's her memoir, it's a real story. And from the get go, you could feel the amount of passion and love and rawness that came with their true story. And and I think people can relate to that. Everyone has been through loss, everyone has been through this deep suffering, and coming out on the other side of this with this deep message of hope and love, and the two families kind of holding each other and caretaking someone who is, everyone can kind of relate to these things. And also everyone dreams of their love story, to be honest. Everyone dreams of finding this incredible love. Who doesn't want to fall in love in Italy? So I think everyone is kind of daydreaming about, I think, all the TikToks.
Okay, so I'm about to start from scratch to see what the hype's about. Okay, I thought the hype was fake about this show. It's not. I have never watched a show that has emotionally destroyed me like this one.
This show right here touched my soul.
Why everyone related it so much is because who doesn't want this kind of love story?
This is a memoir. This is her life story.
Yeah.
What was your interaction like with her?
Every time that I interacted with her, I felt that she was on the verge of tears from this experience of joy, like happy crying, because I think she's still processing, she's still grieving the love of her life, Saro, in a way, and she's being able to process that whole moment in her life through this incredible story. And so I think she is, every time I've interacted with her, she's just full of joy and gratitude for us being a part of this.
There is a scene that you're in where you're having to say goodbye to Lino.
Tenby came up to me, and it was, we're trying to connect in the midst of this COVID, the shields, the mask, and she just looks at me. I can see through her eyes, and she said, "This is the last time that you will be seeing your best friend, Lino." And then she just walks away. And the book hit me thinking of her husband, and Saro and his story. And it just, and then you're rolling, and you're with these incredible actors around you and looking at it, and it just kind of, it all hit, and it felt pretty magical. And I think that was one of the most memorable moments I had on that set.
Let's talk about your background because it's very interesting. I think it's safe to say is the reason why you were able to get this role.
Yeah.
You grew up basically in Italy.
I grew up, born in Iowa, Davenport, but then shortly after that, your sister, my mother, moved to Princeton, Illinois, where she was taking care of my grandfather, who was passing at that time, and talking about this story, even just caretaking for your loved ones and making those sacrifices. And then from there, my mother made the decision to study theology. That brought her later on to Rome. At the ripe age of 7, I was brought kind of like Lino, just thrown on. And I remember those feelings. That's why even this story, his part, I felt it because I remember moving to Rome, having to learn the language. The food was foreign, everything, everything was so much. And I remember feeling extremely homesick when I first moved there. I missed my friends, I missed my life. And then after that passed, I was able to learn Italian. It took me 3 weeks to learn Italian fluently by eating gelato, watching MTV in Italian, and riding around on my bicycle. Those are the 3 things that taught me how to speak Italian.
What was it like behind the scenes?
Getting to know the cast member and to really spend time with them, and that was incredible. And for me, being able to spend time with Paride and Lucia Sardo, Paride Benassai from Sicily, who were just outrageously beautiful people and warm from the get-go, because I knew I had a scene with Paride, and I had to meet him beforehand. And he just took me in his trailer and talked to me, and it's like, give me the 2 kisses. It's like he'd known me for forever. All the actors that played Amy's family from Texas, those scenes, like the wedding scenes, behind the scenes, the scenes where both families were together, it was just the late night shoots. They would put music on, they were dancing. Keith David was singing Ave Maria. It was just like, yeah, it was so much fun because there was so much culture or talent, passion. It was a dream come true.
What is your pitch to someone who has not seen this series yet?
Well, you're late. Get on it. Start binging this weekend. Fall in love with these 2 characters. Fall in love with Italy. Fall in love with grieving and suffering, because through suffering is there's a beautiful miracle on the other side of suffering. My single mother raising me alone in Italy, and those issues, but on the other side of that, there's always been this beautiful life on the end of that. And through that, in that process, there's so much laughter and joy and hope and beauty. Please watch this. If you want to meet someone, if you love cooking, it's all of the favorite things on this planet. There's love, there's grieving, there's food, and it's just the beautiful pot of all these things.